Good morning, everyone. Welcome to my YouTube channel where I talk about knitting and my horsemanship journey. My name is Karina. I'm coming to you from the Pacific Northwest where I live with my partner, our two kitties, and the two horses that I'm going to go out and feed right now. It is Friday, April 26th, which means it's my day off. Yay! It's about 6 a.m. and you can see it's quite light out up here in the northwest corner of Washington State. It's been rainy. If you've been with me for a while, or at least seen the last couple episodes, you've seen that it's been quite nice and very spring-like weather, and I've been doing a lot of riding and bicycle riding and stuff like that. Well, today and this weekend might be more of a knitting weekend, so that's fine. I said that I had the day off. It is sort of true. My supervisor is out of town, so I am acting on her behalf today, so I may need to respond to emails and questions and stuff like that, so I'll check that for a while. So here's the outflow. It's come up of our creek behind our house. It's come up quite a bit overnight. And here's the creek. If you watched during Vlogmas, you can see that it is quite lush compared to then, and the stream is flowing very nicely. When I walked through here yesterday, I saw a couple deer, and then they also made an appearance outside my office window, which I may include that photo today. I have sourdough bread in the oven. I found a very easy sourdough recipe on Instagram. It is basically 4 cups of flour, a 1/4 cup of starter, 2 cups of water, and a tablespoon of salt. Mix it all together, and there's Bragi and Odin. Mix it all together. You can, stretch it, shape it, let it raise for 12 to 24 hours, and then put it in a cast iron pan with no lid and in a cold oven, temperature 450 degrees, my boys, for 55 minutes. That's it. These guys want to be fed, so I'm going to get to it. Good morning again, everyone. Welcome to the knitting portion of my podcast. You will notice that I have 2 knitted garments on. So I showed this last week. Hopefully you can see Bigfoot there. This is the Cryptid Cowl by Pacific Knits Co. And on the inside, which I'm not gonna show because I showed it last week, is the Loch Ness Monster, or Nessie. So Cryptid Cowl by Pacific Knits Co. I finished this before the last episode, and then I just blocked it a couple days ago, so it's really kind of stretched out nicely. And today's a rainy day, as I mentioned in the segment when I was walking out to the barn. Still trying to negotiate with my trainer whether or not she's coming today, because when it's raining, it's just not as much fun to work with horses. All that to say, it's a nice day for a cowl. The other thing I'm wearing is the Corran Cardigan. So this is a pattern by designer Rebecca Clow from Edinburgh, Scotland, and she has a podcast called The Crayabea, I believe. So this one has some handmade buttons on it that I think you can see right here. They're a little heavy for this. Looks like I have a little hole that I just probably messed up the pattern right there, but I could sew that up. So this, handmade buttons, they're kind of heavy for this garment. This is cotton yarn, a DK weight by Knit Picks. I knit it on size 5, US size 5 needles. I think the actual pattern called for 5mm needles, and I read the pattern wrong, but it fits very nicely. And part of it, I think, is just because it's cotton, so it gets a little stretchy, and which could also be this kind of issue with this side, but I don't see that anywhere else in the sweater. So it's just one of those things that makes it custom. The Cryptid Cowl is also mostly of Knit Picks yarn, in a sport weight with a, the dark color that you see is a spin cycle. I have Starbucks this morning. I made a trip to town early this morning, grabbed some coffee, so I get a half calf latte with cinnamon powder stirred in just for fun. Some no sugar fun. Not that I'm against sugar, I just don't need a lot. The other thing that I'm wearing that I just have to take off my, Herbert's having fun with the area rug, messing it up. So these is I believe this is Hermione's Everyday Socks, and the colorway is Dumbledore's Army by Freckled Whimsy. So very apropos. I'm having a kind of a purple theme day today. Herbert made a wrinkle in the area rug and is now beating it up, so it's kind of amusing. So what else do I have going on? I'll just show you my little whip parade. I don't have any finished objects for you. So I am making another pair of socks from this book, 52 Weeks of Socks. I think this is my 3rd pair out of this book, and I'm making the Lumme, Lumme. So I'm gonna pencil out of the, and this has a lace pattern. It's toe up. So this is the name of it, and then this is the sock. It's hard to see knit out of this color, but you might be able to see a little lace pattern on the toe and then another lace pattern on the leg. So short pair of socks. I am using a self-striping by Freckled Whimsy. I don't think I have the colorway tag. It's really pretty. So let me take the needle out of it. I'm using Chowgu red lace, size 0 on a 32-inch cord. So this is the lace pattern, and I think it shows up okay in this self-striping, and not so much on the dark, just kind of like the sock in the picture. It's not so much on the dark color. So there is a left and a right. I'm knitting the smallest size, so cast on 12 using Judy's Magic Cast On, which I think I showed before that I followed. When you follow the directions, it turns out better. So, and it has a nice invisible look to it. The sock is in garter, so kind of squishy, and then I'm in the stockinette portion. So I'm done with the toe, which has the lace pattern. Then you knit the foot in stockinette, and then do the heel, and then the leg, I believe, is stockinette for a while, and then lace pattern. So not a very tall pair of socks. So I'm gonna have plenty of leftovers, which is fine. I have this contrasting color mini to go with it, but I don't know that I'm gonna use it in this pattern. So I just may save it. I just see a message from my trainer, and so she's gonna come at 10 instead of 9:45, which is, it's about 8 a.m. now, so that's quite a while. We're just waiting for the rain to stop. So that's that whip, and I'm just taking my time on it. I have plenty of socks to wear right now, and I'm just not in a hurry. The bag is from my mom, a very simple drawstring bag that is lined. My second whip is in this bag, also from my mom, drawstring bag. This one is not lined, and it's nice and big. So it has a big pair of socks in it that uses 7 different colors of yarn. And this sock is from the Sock Knitting Masterclass by Ann Budd. And I am actually knitting the socks that are on the cover. So over the knee socks. And I think these are called thigh-high stripes. So here is a better picture of them. Again, not in a hurry on this because summer's coming. But I have made a significant amount of progress since last time I showed this. So I have this really wide cuff that starts in this rose color. I'm using basically scraps, and then this colorwork section. So the stripes kind of fade into each other, and then I'm on this kind of big colorwork section. I've just started it. It's the biggest colorwork section, and it's the actual, the flower part. So if I could show you on the cover, it's this flower part here. That's what I'm working on now. I am using Addie's Flexi Flips, so 3 needles. And I'm using 2 different sizes. I'm using a 2.75 millimeter for the color work and a 2.5 millimeter for the other part. So right now I'm using the 2.75 millimeter. So Addie's Flexi Flips. And using a variety of yarn, a lot of it scrap. This one is not. This is hand dyed by Nativity. This is a commercial yarn. Can't remember the name of it. This is a hand-dyed yarn by Jada Woo, all fingering weight. This is West Yorkshire Spinners, and I believe the colorway is blue raspberry. The weights, or the yarn weights, are slightly different from each other, so we'll see how that works out. Another West Yorkshire Spinners in white. I think it's called Marshmallow, actually. This is a yarn I got in Wisconsin. The name Wisconsin is in it. I bought it last year or the year before at a yarn store called Utopia. It's in a town called La Crosse. The town is called Viroqua. This is, I believe, hedgehog fiber. This is some of the legacy yarn that I got from somebody else's stash who was destashing for medical reasons. Sorry, it is Lolo Did It. And it's Hippo for Baby Gray is the colorway. So those are the 7 colors. Lots of good contrast. I suspect I'm going to run out of the brown, which is not terrible. Because that means I just have to buy more, because I don't think I have any other brown fingering weight. So the socks aren't going to match. That's fine. You know, these are winter socks for under my jeans when I'm working down in my office, where it's a little chilly down there. Even though there is heat, but often I have the heat turned down, so I don't get too warm. And rather than fussing with the heat setting all day, I just put on some warm clothes. So that is that. Look at that, 11 minutes in and I'm through 2 of my whips. And, oh, this one, also another scrappy project. So this is basically a do-it-yourself Raglan. So nothing special about it. I'm holding 2 strands of figuring together. One strand is a base yarn. I have two colors of the same. So I have two 100 balls of the same color, and then the rest are just, I'm holding it with scraps, and that's been really fun. I really like this. So I split for sleeves. I was still working on the yoke the last time you saw this. So I split for sleeves, and I'm working on the body. So I have about, I don't know, a couple inches, maybe getting close to 3 inches on the body. So, you know, it's superwash yarn, so it's going to, it's probably going to grow, which is fine. The needles I'm using they're clover, and they are US size 5 or 3.75. So the beginning of round marker is a little broom that was from a holiday or a Halloween advent I got last year. So let me show you. So I just started the second ball. This shows probably a little bit more gray than it really is. It is, it's kind of a cool light green. I would almost call it like seafoam green. And then I have my bag of green scraps. And right now I am working on a ball of, this is probably leftover self-striping from Freckled Whimsy. I don't remember the colorway, but it was probably from a Yarn of the Month Club. I might have that here. Let's see if I do. No, this is from Minis. Other ones are from Minis. This is a leftovers from a Christmas advent from Polka Dot Creek. This is from a hat I made Randy. I don't remember where this one came from. This one is from a tunic I crocheted many, many years ago. Probably the first garment I ever made. Here's another pretty one. Don't remember what that is. And there, I already showed that one. And then this one is, I think this came from row 1 mini set when I was subscribing to that. So, and then I just have a little kind of white. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that. So hopefully that's enough yarn to finish this. So it may end up being short sleeve, and that's fine too. I may end up having to buy some minis, which is not a terrible thing. So that's the knitting. If you were here just for the knitting portion, thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you next time. Otherwise, I'll talk a little bit more about life stuff and what I've been up to. So last week when I finished podcasting, I had a lesson with Bragi, and it was a nice day. He's doing really well about getting in the trailer. So he is loading just fine. We're working on getting him more comfortable about staying in there and being able to move his body around. So if I had to, I could load him up and take him somewhere. What I want to do is just make him comfortable so so it just becomes part of the routine, just like I do Odin. It took, a long time, a couple of years at least, with Odin to get him really comfortable, or now he just gets in. We don't have to talk about it any longer. Speaking of Odin, so I went on a trail ride with a friend that afternoon. It was really fun. It was a lovely, nice day. So I'll show you at least like the map route of that. I probably have some footage too. The next day I spent a lot of time in the garden. It was another really beautiful day. I think some of my friends were a little bit uncertain about what time they could ride, so I just got involved in my garden, starting stuff mostly in the little greenhouse that I have. And yeah, I learned a kind of, and a bunch of containers. I planted a bunch of containers. So I had planted some stuff in February, like fava beans and radishes and spinach. They didn't start coming up until last week. So, note to self, in this part of the world, it is best to just start planting in April, because otherwise it's a bit of a waste of time. The kale's coming up. The rhubarb is going nuts. So hopefully I'll have some rhubarb recipes. I saw some for some jam, like a rhubarb lemon jam, marmalade, which sounds delicious. I love making rhubarb cake. So making a sauce out of the rhubarb with just very lightly sweetened and then turning it into a cake. What else? Yeah, I harvested a bunch of greens that survived the winter and started coming up, and some chives, and had a delicious salad. So that was awesome. And then I rode with a different friend on Sunday. So it was beautiful. Monday was beautiful. I took Odin for a walk up the road that's just south of us. It's a very short walk. It's like 100 paces on a main road. And then we just walk up this hill, and I met two neighbors I had not met before, even though we've been here for 5 years. So, and one of the neighbors used to have cows on his pasture, and he's getting older, doesn't have cows anymore, and he offered to let me graze my horses there. Haven't quite figured out how to get there without walking them both on the main road, and I'd rather not do that. Our properties abut each other in the back. I just have to figure out there's access. It's in the wooded part of our property. So, we might have to cut a trail he said there was a gate. I just haven't found it yet. And the weather has just been kind of rainy since then, so I haven't got out there to do it. No rush though, so it's something to work on over time. I think I said before that, it's supposed to be kind of cool and rainy this weekend, so probably not gonna do much riding. If I do ride at all, it'll be on Sunday. I'm having lunch with a friend today, and I need to buy some yarn for some mittens that I promised Randy for his birthday, which was earlier this month. So I'm gonna look for some yarn for that today. But the friend I'm having lunch with, she is a fellow knitter, so we always have some show and tell, and that's really fun. And then tomorrow is my dad's birthday, so we will have dinner with them. We're going to take them out to dinner. He and his wife out to dinner tomorrow night. And before that, I am going to drive down south to see a friend who is recovering from cancer surgery. So she's a few years younger than me, and we don't get to see each other very often. So I thought I would just make the trip down there to visit with her. That is all the news that I have for today. So I hope you have an enjoyable weekend, whatever you are up to, and get out and enjoy the outdoors as much as you possibly can, because it is good for us. Take care, and we'll see you next time.